All right, now we're doing 7Q strong numbers, special numbers series number 2. This is by Mr. Zizo Scream, and 92% of the people like it. The strong number is the number that the sum of the factorial of its digits is equal to the number itself. And given a number, we're going to find if it's strong or not, and then return either strong or not strong. So basically, we just got to find out if the digits factorialized and then summed up equal the digit itself. So for this one, we're going to come over here and I'll say const strong equals in, and then the rest of it we're going to turn into an arrow. All right, down here we're going to say console.log, and so it's easy for testing, and we're going to start right here. So first let's type it in and see what this looks like. All right, yeah, we got 1, 2, 145. We're going to get rid of this 1 and 2 because we don't need those. Those are cool, but 145's a better number for this. All right, so let's test it again and see again. What? Oh yeah. Test it out. There we go. So now we've got 145 right here. So what we want to do first is we're going to turn this number into a string so that we can split it up. So we're going to use this string constructor, which when called instead as a function, it performs type conversion to a primitive string, which is usually more useful. So that's what we're going to use it for. We're going to wrap this in parentheses and say string in front of it. Now let's test it out. It's still 145, but I guarantee it's a string. All right, so now we're going to split this thing up, and since we don't have any special things we got to split by, we're just going to use this spread syntax, which allows an iterable such as an array or string to be expanded in places where 0 or more arguments or elements are expected. So we're going to put brackets around this, and then we're going to say in front of string ... just like that. Now let's test it out, and we've got 1, 4, and 5 in quotes in each one of those. So now what we want to do is we want to factorialize all these numbers. So for that, we're going to use the map method. If you don't know about the map method, it's a method that creates a new array populated with the results of calling a provided function on every element in the array. So basically, like in this example, every function is going to be multiplied by 2 because, every element is going to be multiplied by 2. And then it's going to make 1, 4, 9, and 16 into 2, 8, 18, and 32, just like that. The syntax we're going to use is this arrow function syntax with map element as the argument. Then we're going to have an arrow and an expression after that. All right? And so we're going to say .map element, and then we're having this expression. So we're going to do this expression in normal syntax like this because it's just easier, because we got to do a for loop for this one. It's a special kind of for loop. So we're going to say let result equal 1, and I'll show you why. And then we're going to say for let I equal in, and then while in is greater than let I equal e, and while I is greater than 0, we're going to say I plus plus. Not e element. All right, there we go. And not plus plus, we're going to say minus minus. There we go. Awesome. So then after that, we're going to say result times equals I. All right. That way it just makes the factorial. All right. And then after we do that, we're going to say return result. Now let's see what this looks like. 124, 120, that looks good. And then we're just going to, after this, we're going to say dot reduce, And if you don't know about the reduce method, it executes a user-supplied reducer callback function on each element of the array in order, passing in the return value from the calculation on the preceding element. The final result of running the reducer across all elements is, all elements of the array is a single value. And the easiest to understand case for reduce is to sum all the elements in an array, right? So the syntax we're going to be using is another arrow function syntax with previous value and current value as the arguments, what is that? An arrow right there, and then also an expression. So right here we're going to say dot reduce. We're going to have prev cur as the arguments, previous value, current value, and then we're going to say prev plus cur. Now let's see what this looks like. Test it out. All right, 145. So that's good, but what we need is a strong or a not strong, right? So for that, we're going to have to use the good old-fashioned ternary operator, which is the only JavaScript operator that takes 3 operands: a condition followed by a question mark, then an expression to execute if the condition is truthy followed by a colon, and finally the expression to execute if the condition is falsy. And this operator is frequently used as an alternative to if-else statements. And that's what we're going to use it for. So we're going to say if this right here, if all this equals in, we're going to say, what was it, strong, like this. Let's just take this thing right here. And if not, we'll just take this thing right here. Now let's test it out and see what it says. Okay, it's not doing anything because of this console.log. Let's do it like this. Test it out. Huh. Oh yeah, equals in. Test it out. There we go. Let me try the console.log real quick. Sorry for wasting your time, but I gotta know. Test it out. Oh, it would have done it. Cool. Awesome. I'll remember that for next time. And so we got that. It looks good. Attempt it. Still looks good. Submit it. All right. And right here we've got something that kind of did what we did. Actually, they made a whole nother function called Factorial in here. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. This one just cheated. This one did what we did, but then made just started with the reduce here. I guess we could have done that. 2 reduces, actually. I guess we could have done that, but whatever. And then some more stuff. Whatever. All right, let's go over here to mine. Very much like this one. Best practice, in my opinion. And we'll see you next time.